Welcome to My Hometown, the program that explores clubs, organizations, businesses, and issues across Nassau and Suffolk counties and sheds light on the different towns that are making a difference.
Hello and welcome to My Hometown. I'm Bill Horan, along with my co-host, Stacy Raine.
Bill, are you a good dancer?
Let's put it this way. When I dance, people take up a collection.
Well, I'm going to tell you, I danced all the way through school. So I had a lot of dance lessons every year. And our guest today is an expert dancer from right here in Nassau County who wants to teach everyone not only how to dance, but how to be stronger people.
I'll be a challenge for our guest, I'll tell you that. And our guest today is Sara DeGennaro. She's the owner of Pointe Dance Center in Malverne and the first-time children's author of a book called Sofia's First Ballet Class, Ballet Is Fun. Sara, welcome to My Hometown on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC.
Hello, nice to meet you.
Now, tell us a little bit about yourself, a little bit about your background as a dancer.
Sure, I started dancing when I was 3 years of age, and then I went to the School of American Ballet when I was 8 years of age, and I had the privilege of performing with the New York City Ballet, and then I opened my own dance studio years later, and I've had that school for now 28 years, and I love it.
First of all, it seems amazing because you appear to me to be so young, but for our audience, those schools are the top. It's like going to the top basketball or football school or medical school in the dance world. Am I correct?
Yes, that's right.
So you are the best of the best of the best.
Thank you.
Okay. No, thank you, because you're the one who's able to do this. But for most of us, we don't realize that. We think of a medical school, Johns Hopkins, let's say, or a school like that. But in the dance world, the schools you went to were the top, and you're right here on Long Island.
Yes. Thank you.
She went pro starting as a child, right? So just very young.
I was privileged, to perform with the New York City Ballet.
Did you open up your school right after that? I guess what would be the equivalent of getting out of college or when you completed that?
I did.
So
you've been doing this for how many years now?
I've had my school for 28 years.
Wow.
That's amazing. You've seen a lot of little kids grow up and become wonderful dancers, huh?
I have. It's incredible to be a part of their lives and watch them grow. And they are just so wonderful.
Have you seen any of your students grow up and pursue careers in dance?
I have.
Yeah.
One of my students was a Radio City Rockette.
Oh, cool. Did you get to go see her?
I did. I went to see her every season.
Were you so proud?
I was so proud. I cried in the audience. It was the most incredible feeling. And she was just so happy because, I watched her dreams come true, and incredible. She was just such a great dancer and wonderful young lady. So it was an honor to sit in that audience and watch her because she started with me when she was 3 years of age. So, and she was always such a hard worker.
Yeah.
So
now, when someone starts, I'm sorry to interrupt, but when someone starts, how many years do they put in learning with you?
She was with me 14 years. 14 years, yeah.
Oh, wow. So that's like the full going to the high school, the grammar school, the whole
She graduated from my school when she graduated high school.
Wow.
That's great. So you had to train hard starting from a very young age. Can you tell us a little bit about before the show, you were telling us a little bit about that. Can you speak to the training that you went through to become the dance teacher you became and performer? Sure.
You're pretty much, it's like training for the Olympics. That's what I kind of compare it to. You're going into the city. When I was 8, I went in, I believe it was 2 times a week. But then when you're in a ballet like the Nutcracker, you have to go in for rehearsals and then you have to go in for performances. So it was a full-time job.
Yeah.
But I loved it. And then as I got older, the hours became longer and the classes became more and more and rehearsals as well.
Now, when you opened up the Pointe Dance Center, am I correct? Did I get the name correctly?
That's it.
I want to give you full credit. Was this like right after you had taken all these classes? Did you go immediately or did you spend 5 years doing something else, teaching?
I went immediately into opening the school.
Into teaching?
Into teaching, yes. I always loved teaching because when I was 12, I started teaching the kids in the neighborhood. And it was for, I think, I charged $5 a class.
Oh, cool.
And the kids in the neighborhood, because everybody heard my reputation and what I was doing. And so they said, would you teach my daughter or my son? And I said, yeah, of course. So on Saturdays, when I had time and I wasn't dancing myself, I would teach the kids in the neighborhood for $5 a class, and I used that money to help pay for my train ticket into Manhattan. So I loved teaching.
Yeah.
So then later on, I went right into opening my own school.
Stacey, you can see when we're talking to Sara just how she beams when she talks about dance.
I
And this
know.
is after 28 years.
Yeah.
Most teachers, they love teaching, but all right, I've done it for 28 years. You're still beaming about it like it's your first day on the job.
Oh, I absolutely love it. And it's hard to talk about sometimes because I know that not everybody loves what they do, but I love what I do. My students, I'm passionate about dance still after all these years.
Yeah.
I love my students, and I love teaching, and it's wonderful. And I have another student that made it also, which I'm about to go see him in Austin, Texas. So I want to tell you all about that too.
That is
Fantastic.
so cool. Yeah.
Thank you.
Please.
Okay, so I taught a young man named, by the way, the Rockette, her name was Kristen Smith, and she's from Malverne.
Oh, cool. Okay.
So she's from Long Island
right
too.
where you
And so
went
is
to school.
Ian.
Okay.
He is with Ballet Austin, and Stephen Mills, the director of Ballet Austin, just choreographed a new ballet, and it's called Poe, A Tale of Madness.
Okay.
Oh, cool.
Yes.
Oh, I
and
want to see that.
I know. It looks
sounds amazing.
incredible. You have to check out
And
the trailer.
your student is in it. Okay, I will. I'm writing it
And
down.
Ian is playing the Raven.
Oh. Mm-hmm. You must be so excited.
I'm so excited, and I'm going to see it. I want to say it's March 23rd or in a couple weeks. I'm going to see him, and it's a world premiere performance.
Oh, how much fun is that? That sounds amazing. So seeing your students grow up and do these big, big things must just be an incredible feeling. Is this what you imagined when you started this, when you were so young?
Not at all. I did not. I just remember thinking that I want to teach them how to dance.
Yeah.
I remember saying my school is not going to be a school where you send your kids to just, for me to watch them, basically.
Right.
I wanted the children to come to the school, have fun, but learn.
Right.
Learn true,
balance.
traditional dance. Exactly.
Yeah. What was your method? I'm thinking back to all my dance classes, and sometimes we were a little unruly. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to lie to you.
She's still unruly.
A little bit.
You know, people call me strict,
Yeah.
but there's discipline.
You kind of have to be when it's
You have
ballet,
to. Yes.
you know?
I can't teach them if they're not going to listen. And I think if you start that from an early age, first of all, kids need it.
Yeah.
They appreciate it. Their parents appreciate it.
Their parents appreciate it. Yes.
Right, exactly. And they learn, and
Yeah.
they can do so much. My 4-year-olds, they know plie, port de bras, tendu, batu, releve, saute. All these steps, my 4-year-olds can do.
Yeah. And now they can read about it in your new book at night, right?
Yes.
So tell us about your new book.
Sofia's first ballet class, Ballet Is Fun, came about 8 years ago. I had always loved writing, especially poetry. And you'll notice that it rhymes.
Yes, it does rhyme. I love that.
So 8 years ago, I decided to write a book about a child's first ballet class. And it's educational.
Yep.
It's cute, and so far, the kids seem to really love it. And my students think it's so cool.
Yeah.
So 8 years ago, I wrote the book, and then my niece was born, my goddaughter, and I changed the name to Sofia.
Okay.
It had been something else.
Okay.
And then I changed the name. And then when my business had been shut down a few years ago.
Is that because of the pandemic?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Because of the
At
pandemic.
first, the way you said that, it almost sounded like you did something wrong.
Oh, no, not at all. Because of the pandemic,
Yeah.
I said, okay, let me get this book
off the
published.
ground. Yeah.
And I did.
Wow. So this was kind of your COVID project.
Yes.
Wow. COVID must have been really tough for you to be away from your students, to be away from dance like that. But then you channeled it into this beautiful children's book all about dance. I love that.
Thank you.
I love it.
Now, do you have other secret talents you haven't told us about? Because dancing, that's great that you could do it at the level you can do it. But not only that, now you write a successful book and people seem happy with it. And you're probably going to tell us, oh, you have a cooking show on that's just bought up by all the big channels, etc.
Yeah.
Oh, no. No, I just took up golf a couple of years ago, so
I'm sure
I'm not very good, but I do love it.
Yeah.
Well, as a dancer, you have to be athletic, right? Don't the two of them go pretty much together?
Yes. They should, but...
Yeah. But I mean, for most, I would think, because
yes, absolutely.
Otherwise you fall down a lot and hurt yourself.
Right.
And golf, so you at least have talents in terms of coordination, etc.
Agility.
And agility and getting out there. And once you start golf, you forget dancing because you just don't have time for anything else. It starts taking you over and let's play golf. Let's go out every day. Find a reason to play golf. So why not? Did I hear, though, that not only did you write that book, you're either working on another one or you have another one coming out?
I am. I'm working on my second. And I'm hoping it'll be out maybe next year. So.
And you said that's going to be on level 2, right? So tell us about the level 1, level 2, what these books are about.
Sure. Well, each level you're learning, it's like you're building upon step after step. And so I think level 2 will just add more steps.
It'll build upon, So I had the pleasure of reading this book to one of my little friends who's a dancer, and we were going through it. And I said, "Is this what your dance class is like?" And it talks about, he had first position in there, and talk about plie and all that. And it brought me back to some of my dance classes when I was little, and it was just fun to read. It was just fun to kind
Thank
of
you
reminisce
so much.
and then read it with someone who's actually taking dance right now.
Sure.
It was fun.
Yeah, the little ones, they just love it. It's so sweet. I had a friend of mine say, we just read last night, actually, and it made my night. It was so sweet. And they were like, we just read your book again, and our daughters miss you so much, and they just love it. And I just thought, this is what it's all about. That is so sweet. But yes, like level 1, we talk about first position. In level 2, we'll talk about second position.
Okay.
Because you don't learn every position in just the first level.
Yeah.
And at my school, we teach 4 positions. There are actually 5, but we do 4.
So you're a dancer, a teacher, an author. What's sort of your overall goals for all these things that you were doing?
What are my goals? To make an impact.
Yeah.
I think.
Sounds like you have with your students going off to do all these big things.
Thank you.
You've inspired some people for sure.
I hope so. I want kids to know, they should follow their dreams, and anything's possible with hard work, dedication. I always tell my students, I say, nothing just happens.
Yeah.
You have to make it happen. I said, I wish, but it doesn't.
Yeah.
Hard work, dedication, it pays off.
Right.
And I think that's what I want to show my students.
Yeah. And you talk about getting stronger, right, as people.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And they are. I mean, I see so many of my students go on to becoming teachers, doctors, lawyers, therapists, physical therapists. I mean, it's incredible. And dancers,
Right.
It's just, they have the tools.
Right. And I was telling you before this started, I mean, I took dance forever, and I still feel like I'll do something and I'll think, wow, this is a lesson that I learned in dance. I mean, it makes you physically stronger. That's why there's now aerobics after like bar, right?
Right, exactly.
And they're hard.
Bar.
I mean, they're hard. But also mentally, I feel like dance is, it's a mental thing too, being strong to
It is.
show up to the lessons, to do the lessons, to do the best you can. It teaches you so much.
It does.
I think.
It
Yeah.
does.
Yeah.
Sarah, when people come in, is there a type of dance they want to learn? Is it something that may be popular on the street, or do they come to you for ballet, or what's popular in the dance world?
Well, at my school, a lot of my students do come and take ballet class because they know that I was a ballet dancer. But I also took tap and jazz, so they come in for that as well. But some kids just want to take hip hop, and they love it.
Yeah.
I don't teach hip hop, though. One of my students, who actually has been with me since the beginning, she's been with me for 28 years.
Wow.
And she was a student and is now my instructor, is an
that's
instructor
cool.
at the school. And she's also a teacher.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's wonderful.
So do you have one other instructor? Are there multiple, or is it you and this instructor for hip hop?
That's it.
Oh, that's fun.
That's it.
I'm going to take a minute to remind our listeners that you are listening to My Hometown on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC. I'm Stacy Raine, here with Bill Horan, and our guest today is Sara DeGennaro, the owner of Tap to Pointe Dance Center in Malverne, and a first-time children's author and a book called Sofia's First Ballet Class, Ballet Is Fun.
Now, Sara, is there something you want to tell us? I guess when parents come in, do they come in at age 3 and say, I want you to teach my son or daughter how to dance? Or do they come in too late, which, again, I'm making this up. I don't know what too late is. Is that age 8 or 10 or 12? What's a mistake that a typical parent or a student might make that you can help correct today?
No, it's never too late to take a dance class. You know, I mean, I have adults that come in, and unfortunately, I don't teach adults, but I send them all, I say, go to Broadway Dance Center.
Yeah.
You know, if you can get into the city or find an adult class at another studio because they have it. I don't think it's too late. But some parents do. They bring their kids in I start them now at 4 years of age. And I have children that come in at 8 years of age and 10 years of age, and I take them and I try to put them in the appropriate class. And some of them need to catch up a little bit, and then I say, maybe you take an extra class for a few months and we'll catch you up, or here's a video of this step and I'll help you pick it up.
So I need to confess to you, one of the things I love is watching music videos that have good dance routines in them, and sometimes I'll, since I was little, but we would make them up, we would watch the videos, we would try to learn from the videos. Do you still watch some dance videos and try to recreate some of those moves?
Oh, absolutely. We're doing Vogue.
Oh, one of my favorites. One of my favorites.
Sure.
Okay, cool.
We're doing Fosse.
Oh, nice.
So I've been watching videos of, I mean, I go back. I love the traditional pieces.
Yeah.
It's just...
Well, my other burning question is, do you watch Dancing with the Stars? And are you judging? That's what I want to know. Like, are you sitting there judging the celebrities?
I do not. I'm teaching while Dancing with the Stars on. And I don't watch a lot of television. Right. I have to be honest with you. But, once in a while
You'll catch a routine.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh. Do you think any of them have done that you've seen? Or they're like, they're all right.
The pros on the show are incredible.
Yeah.
Okay. And some of the contestants on it
they're doing pretty good.
They're pretty good.
All right.
I mean, I give them a lot of credit to go on that show because it is not easy, and you're dancing with a professional.
Yeah.
Which should help, but it's a lot of work.
Right.
When I do watch it, I enjoy it thoroughly, and I give the actors, singers on it a lot of credit.
Yeah.
But the professionals, they are incredible. I could watch them for hours.
Yeah, I bet.
Sara, I think I've just seen it on, I don't know if it was a sitcom or a reality show, but someone was, at least in the scenario they had, getting married. And I would think a lot of people, before they get married, the wife sees the husband dance and says, you're going to take a few lessons, don't embarrass me. Or they want to put on a performance, as we sometimes see on the internet or YouTube, that is really a good dance. Maybe both of them are a good dance. Do you get people like that coming in and say, get us ready for the wedding so we can put on a show or at least survive?
I have taught my brother and his wife. I taught them their first dance. So I don't actually teach people from the outside. I teach family and friends.
Okay.
But I have taught those first dances, and it is such a joy.
Yeah.
And they're so cute. And some of them are a bit of a challenge, but I'm up for it. They are. And
are you just giddy during those dances when at the wedding?
Oh,
watching them.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. And they get so serious about it. You know,
Right.
they want to do so well. And I'm like, just enjoy it. It's your first dance. You'll be fine.
Yeah.
And it's beautiful. But I taught my brother and his wife their first dance. I taught one of my best friends theirs. I taught one of my former students hers. I mean, the list goes on, but it's really nice.
I can tell you, every now and then, a song will come on, an old song, and it will take me back. Either it's something that I danced to or something my sister danced to. So does that happen to you from the School of Ballet? Like, are you immediately like, oh, I'm back there?
Oh, all the time. I mean, I could perform the entire Nutcracker.
Oh,
I could
really?
probably do every children's role.
Yeah.
Every adult role. I mean, it's something that stays with you.
Yeah.
Even I think a few tap dances that I learned at Robert Mann Dance Center when I was 6. I mean, I could do This Joint Is Jumping for You.
Yeah.
And it stays with you.
Right. And it's so much fun. I mean,
it is.
Dancing at any age is just so much fun.
It is so much fun. I mean, I remember one piece that I did, and I always tell my students, I said, you're lucky. I pick out nice costumes for you because I remember one year this was when I was at the dance studio in Bayside. It's Raining Men. And they put us in a canary yellow costume.
Oh, my goodness.
With fringe,
Oh,
from fingertip to your waist.
Yeah.
Okay. And I remember that costume and that dance, and I thought to myself, oh my goodness, I look like Big Bird dancing to It's Raining Men.
Yeah. That's so much fun. Well, you were telling us a little bit before the show about your audition for the American School of Ballet, and your mom must have seen something in you because she suggested it, right? Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Sure. So I started dancing when I was 3 at a local school in Long Island, not too far from my house.
Yeah.
And then when I was 6, my cousin went to Robert Mann Dance Center, which was in Bayside, Queens, and it was a better school. So my mom ended up taking me there. And then my aunt bought me the book, A Very Young Dancer. And that book was by Jill Kremens, was about the School of American Ballet, which is one of the most prestigious ballet schools in the world.
Right.
So I received that book. I read it with my mom, and my mom said, would you like to audition for this school? And I said, sure, I'd love to, because at that point, I loved going to dance class. I never gave my mom a hard time. Oh, I have to go to dance, you know? And I did. I loved it. And so at 8 years of age, I auditioned for the School of American Ballet, and several dancers audition. And I think maybe 20 get chosen. And do you want me to tell you about the audition?
Yeah, please. Take us back.
So when I auditioned, I remember my mom drove me into the city, showing up. And now, when I was 8, I also loved jazz. Okay, so I had a lucky leotard. And my mom drove me to the School of American Ballet to the audition. And I show up, and every little girl there has their perfect pink tights on, their beautiful black leotard, their hair is manicured in this gorgeous bun, and I show up in my lucky hot pink leotard. And I believe I had a side ponytail as well.
Yeah.
No bun, which I can't believe. But so my mom took a good look at me, and she said, Sara, just have fun and don't worry if you don't get in. It's okay.
Yeah.
It's a great experience. I said, okay, Mom, don't worry. I'm going to have fun. So I went into the audition and had a great time. Felt like I had a good audition.
Yeah.
And I came out, and my mom asked me, how was it? And I said, it was so much fun. And she said, okay, good. So on the car ride home, she reminded me, it's okay if you don't get in. It was a great experience, and that's it. And I said, okay, Mom, great. And a couple weeks later, the mail came, and I had a letter from the School of American Ballet. And we opened the letter together, and I got in. So we were all incredibly excited. And then we had to decide, okay, this is going to be a commitment.
Yeah.
What do we do now? And my mom, you know what? She drove me into that city, and I continued with a career in dance. And I am so fortunate to have had the support that I did.
Sarah, as you're telling stories, I'm thinking just in the other direction. You talked about younger people coming to you for dance lessons. Do you ever get seniors coming in, or is that a hot market, big market, or not at all?
No, I have. And like I said, I don't have the space or the time for adult classes.
Yeah.
I have the space, just not the time in my schedule, for the adult classes anymore. But I do. I get them in, and I send them to another school that has adult classes. Or, I'm a big fan of the open classes at Broadway Dance Center, even steps. So I always say, if you can get a group into the city, go take.
That would be a fun outing, wouldn't it?
Absolutely.
That would be a really fun outing.
Absolutely.
To go take a
It is. Go take a class. You should go do it.
Yeah. Well, during the pandemic, when we were all stuck in, side, I can remember I started doing the dance classes
virtual?
On YouTube or whatever. We were trying to, that was another time that my kids and I were trying to teach ourselves some of the music video dance lessons. Yeah.
Well, all these kids on TikTok.
Yeah. Yeah. Doing some amazing stuff. I haven't seen it. Oh, cool. Yeah. So I'm so curious about your experience in the School of Ballet. Like what's something that sticks out to you all these years later, and maybe even something that you try to incorporate into your school from your experience? I
was taught by the best. I I got to perform on stage at a very young age with the New York City Ballet at Lincoln Center. I met so many incredible people.
Yeah.
And I danced with some of the most amazing dancers. And so much came from it.
Yeah. Including the school and the book and the new book that you're working on that you have now, right?
Right.
All from that beginning.
I have a title for your next book. And
Yes.
I'm just going to suggest it now. Dancing for Golfers. Now, you talked about taking, I'm really wondering, I'm sitting here saying, I have to ask you this. Do you find some of the moves from dance and your abilities, now obviously very coordinated and athletic, but does that help with golf, or did that help you with learning golf?
Yes, definitely.
What's so much, because golf is
I think
static, you're
flexibility.
saying. Okay.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And also following instruction.
Definitely that.
But I want to be great at golf, and apparently you can be great one day and you can be really terrible the next. So I'm learning that.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for my great day. I have a lot of really terrible days, but not just to move off really terrible is for me great.
Yeah.
And 10 strokes on a hole instead of 12 or 15. That's a good hole for me. So
I've never even tried golf. So you're both doing better than me. Sara, I'm curious, what's next? I mean, I know you have this new book that you're working on. What's next for your dance school? Where, do you have like a 5-year plan? What are your goals for the future of your school?
Well, I just want to keep doing what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm lucky that I still have the school after all these years, and I have incredible dancers right now up and coming.
Yeah.
the next generation.
The next generation, right, and maybe have another Rockette come out of the
Yeah.
school.
Or a great golfer.
Or a great golfer, exactly.
We'll take it either way. Sara, thank you so much. You've been delightful. And it's great to see someone. We're very fortunate here because most of the people really love what they do that we have come in. But we can see you beaming all through this interview, talking
Thank
about
you.
it. And I think you're very fortunate because how many people can do what they love every day of their life?
I am
That's
very
awesome.
blessed.
You truly are.
Thank you.
I'd like our audience to be reminded that our guest today has been Sara DeGennaro. She's the owner of Tap to Pointe Dance Center in Malverne and the first-time author of a book, Sofia's first ballet class, Ballet Is Fun. Hopefully that'll be the bestseller and followed by your next book. So I think you've got two professions to work on that should keep you busy most of the time.
I thank you so much for having me.
Well, we've had a lot of fun. We've learned a lot, and hopefully, the next stage of your life, pro golfer. That seems to be on the schedule. I'd like an audience to know I'm Bill Horan. I'm here with Nassau Community College student Stacy Raine, and we thank you for listening to this week's episode of My Hometown.
We'd like to get your feedback on My Hometown. Send your comments to WHPC at ncc.edu. Nassau Community College, where success starts and continues. Till next time, this is Bill St. James. And remember, there's no town like your hometown.